But actually, we could lead into the next song. This next one, we can tell the story of. It was unique in many ways. It was the only song. You mentioned we have Derek in the studio playing bass for us these days, but our previous bass player, Brian, he was in the band from the very beginning, and he made this transition of actually he's building guitars for Huss and Dalton guitars, which
awesome.
is great instruments. But he started doing that again. He kind of went back to that job that he had been a luthier years before, but during the pandemic. So he also got married over this summer, and his now mother-in-law commissioned this next song to be played at their wedding. And so this was the only one that we wrote completely in isolation of Brian, who at the time was still playing bass on all these tracks, and we wrote it for him and his now wife, Mary Beth. And we performed it live. So the first time, instead of them getting the file like we normally did in this project where we sent it by email, we stood up on stage and played it for them at the wedding. And further, this song also has an interesting story because it starts. It's kind of the story of them meeting. And Mary Beth was a big music fan, still is, but she was dancing to a Steel Wheels set when Brian was in the band. We were all playing at a festival, and she tore her ACL while dancing. And so a few weeks later, she was at another show. Actually, I see the poster of the Songs from the Road Band over there. She went to see the Songs from the Road Band in Harrisonburg. Brian happened to be at that show. She hobbled over with her crutches and was like, "Hey, you're that bass player for the Steel Wheels, aren't you?" And he was like, "Yeah, my name's Brian." And she said, "Well, you know my knee. It's your fault." And that's how they first met, and that's where we started with this song.
What a fairy tale story.
No, it is kind of a fairy tale story.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's this one right here. It's called "It's Your Fault." It's your fault that I can't walk. I went down in the middle of a crowded room, dancing till I couldn't breathe, dancing till I couldn't speak. Oh, you're gonna remember me. It's your fault. Give a little space. You know how to listen to a busy line, make it all groovy, hold the time, keep it together when it doesn't rhyme. You play the bass, go on and play the bass. Takes the all kinds. If you'll be mine, we're gonna stand up to the weather. Ooh. But when the wind blows, you're never alone. We're gonna do this thing together. It's been a long time since I went looking in the daylight, or even searching in the late night. Was never sure that I would find mine. My heart in the middle of a faded year. Throw back the covers, shed the fears. I'll be the one crying happy tears. This is our life. This is our life. It takes the all kinds. If you'll be mine. I can't walk. I went down in the middle of a crowded room, danced until I couldn't breathe, danced until I couldn't speak, danced till I'm weak in the knees. It's a fall. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Takes the all kinds, all kinds. If you'll be mine, we're gonna do this thing together. Ooh.
I love it. It's your fault. The Steel Wheels here in Studio B on WNCW. Did he hear the song before you performed it at the wedding at all?
Nope. No.
That was a big unveiling
We
surprise.
kept it a surprise.
That's
yeah.
awesome.
I also got to play the bass on that recording, which is the first time I got to do that in a really long time.
Bass
so.
solo and all?
I know, it was funny because we're writing it about the bass player. We write a bass solo into the song, and then we didn't have a bass player at the time to play the bass solo. So yeah, that's me slapping around on the bass.
Yeah, well, that's terrific. See, and that, it's you took me right where I wanted to go in that last talk set because I was going to Brian, and you just went ahead and took us there. That's why it's always such a great pleasure to interview you here. Yeah, it went this way last time too, as I recall. This is great. It's great to have y'all here. You're at the Gray Eagle tonight in Asheville. Right. I'm not sure what the show time is. 8, 7, something like that, maybe.
I bet somebody knows.
Somebody should.
They're all looking. We just gave everybody deer in the headlights.
7 to be
Oh
safe.
yeah,
Doors are at 7.
You like to get to the Gray Eagle early anyway and grab a beverage.
That's
and
right.
Just get, so, and then let's see. Friday night you're in Knoxville, right at the Bijou.
Yeah. We can't wait for that show. It's
Two cool venues.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
I mean, they are super cool. And we have plenty of listeners over in East Tennessee that probably would be easier for them to get to see you in Knoxville, but
Or both.
or yeah, just come to both. There you go. Steel Wheels at the Gray Eagle tonight, and the Bijou in Knoxville tomorrow. The new records are Everyone a Song, Volume 1 and Volume 2. Mm-hmm. And you're going to do, of course, our favorite older Steel Wheels stuff too, right?
Of course. Yeah. No, when we play live, it's a good mix. It is funny because we had a new album the summer of 19. It was called Over the Trees, and so we were still touring that record in the beginning of 2020, and then now 2020, 2021, we have 2 new records of these Everyone a Song. So it's harder to create the set list these days because we're like, oh man, do you guys remember that one? You know what I mean? So
I'm thinking you were here maybe a little before Trees released, actually, because we were doing stuff from it. And
I do remember doing songs from that record. So yeah, it was probably in the spring, maybe
of
before
19.
or something like that. Yeah.
Good record. We still play from that
Oh,
too. Of
thanks.
course, we play all we got about 15 years worth of Steel Wheels to play.
That's right. Yeah, you do that whole Steel Wheels day. One of these days, we'll have like it's only Steel Wheels music.
We do that as a Christmas
Making
gift
my
to
pitch. Yeah.